they'll use explosives. Or
Cool, and then
the
50 people won't get stabbed before.
And then the guy with his car in California who ran
Yeah.
down an entire crowd of people at
Right.
an outdoor event. He
Ban-
just plowed into
Ban
them.
cars.
Problem
That's
is,
There
we
you go.
can do at least a little bit of something
Yes,
to shift the tools in other directions.
something,
You know,
something like that.
um,
It's about people not caring about laws that already exist. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, it's already illegal to kill people. Well,
Yeah.
we've already completely steamrollered that.
Yep. I mean, I don't have the answer, and hopefully smarter people in the future will have the answer. You know what I mean? And we're not going to know until experiments are done.
tests.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we need either to have a temporary ban or some nonsense, or I don't know, but we need to figure something out, and the only way to test these things is to do so empirically.
Good luck, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
True.
can temporarily take your weapons.
Yeah, or just
That's
yeah.
what we told the natives when we were carting them off. I mean, no, we're just going to take it for a little bit.
Some of those people need to be carted off. I'll be honest with you. People who own an arsenal in their basement, who I've met and known and been friends with, off and on throughout my life. I look back on it now and I go, what the heck was I doing in that house?
I've known some pretty far out there people, and I'm not going to name names, least of all on the air, but there is someone who lives in Fort Wayne who's pretty out of his head and has many weapons, many of them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's not actually done anything with them so far. And I don't know that would be grounds to just kind of raid his house. Or
not at all. Because they're legal to own.
Mm-hmm. And he's not gone and shot up a building or anything. So.
But there are measures.
I'm in the room.
I wasn't talking about you.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't talking about you.
I apologize if your ears were blown out by that last gasp laugh.
Oh, shit.
Because I can see it on
You
the
can
screen
see
up
the
there.
clipping. Yeah, well, I'm
Giant.
sorry, I can't help myself. A lot of volume fluctuations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that happens.
Yeah.
And so there we have it.
As it happened at about 2 a.m., when more than 300 people were inside dancing and drinking, said John Mina, the Orlando police chief. The gunman exchanged fire with an off-duty police officer working security at the club, then mowed down dozens of patrons, sending hundreds of others, some of them bleeding, fleeing down the darkened streets of the surrounding neighborhood. Honestly, hearts, thoughts, all the good vibes on this planet go towards these people and their families, and it's just it's a tragedy. But know that in Florida, a blood bank is welcoming gay donors after the terrorist attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
they ordinarily don't, which I don't
right.
really understand.
Before today, it was more difficult to donate blood as a gay man in Florida than to buy an assault rifle with no questions asked.
Wow.
That's juxtapose it a little bit. Yeah, well, I didn't write the article.
It is all right.
Yeah. Following an attack on a gay nightclub in Orlando that killed 50 people and wounded scores of others last night, Blood Bank One Blood announced that it is, quote, in crisis need for all donors and will be accepting all donors, unquote. Crucially, that's including gay men. That's a big deal since the official recommendation of the Federal Food and Drug Administration is to turn away gay men from blood donations if they've had sex in the past year. The FDA only lifted the recommendation ban on donations from gay men last December after the policy had been in place since 1983, when the AIDS epidemic was becoming a national panic.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, we've taken great care to ensure this policy revision is backed by sound science and continues to protect our blood supply, the FDA's acting commissioner, Vampire Von Draco, said at the time. I just made that up.
I was just going to say,
he said, I need to protect my blood supply. Yeah.
There should be someone.
Protecting my blood supply. I probably shouldn't be making jokes during a serious story, but
this is terrible.
I have a morbid sense and immense yum yum yum. And immense instead of saying I just yum yum yum. And
why not? Why not?
That's 12-month limit on donations from gay men is an international standard, but it will still prevent lots of men from donating blood. However, the FDA's policy is guidance that local and private bodies aren't required to follow. And one blood donation center has decided to reject that guidance when it matters most, which is good, risky, but necessary. Sometimes we have to take risks to save lives,
Sometimes.
So if you need to donate blood or feel compelled to donate blood in Florida, find your nearest One Blood blood bank and see if you can help out in any way, especially if you're in or around the Orlando area. Now, I will say right now the gunman is dead after exchanging after eating an explosion from police, I should say.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm kind of curious as to why they
Counterbound.
jumped to the terrorism. Do you think-
I think that scared local law enforcement, and because of his name. His name is Omar Mateen.
Yeah.
You jump immediately to it. Now, the New York Times is reporting that his father is claiming. Did I have it? I don't think I grabbed it in here. His father is claiming that he was very upset by a gay kiss that he received, and due to his possibly
Religious,
super fundamentalist beliefs, may have lashed out in such a way. He is also, the New York Times also has a divorce documentation. So he is previously divorced to a woman who lives in New Jersey now. We don't know if he had remarried or not, but he may have been upset emotionally in that way. Why do
That's a big jump.
gay people get to be
I'm
happy?
upset.
Yeah.
Once again, we're talking about somebody who's already a few fries short of a Happy Meal.
Well, we're already talking about somebody who has felt that it's okay to kill people, period. You know what I mean? So
we're already working with somebody that's not all there. You can try to, rationalize it. You can try to make sense of it. You can try to comb through it and maybe apply some, well, he was feeling like this. I'm sorry, but once you've passed the point of being a decent human being, you've already lost.
I think, honestly, we all have a little bit of murder in us. I felt that way at the airport a couple years ago. At the rent-a-car counter. Oh, you're right. Right, exactly. But I don't. It stops there because we have what we call self-control.
Yeah.
And when you are a sociopath and you have no empathy for others, which I don't know. I'm completely speculating at this point as to what his motivations were, because we can't interrogate him. Well, we can't interrogate at least the 90 pieces we found of him. I don't know if that's really the case or not, but it's satisfying to think of.
Yeah.
But
listen, SB murder mentality.
You know what I mean? I hate.
It just worries me that they jumped to the terrorist.
Yeah, initially, especially police officials.
It's like, that's his name. Terrorist. That's dangerous.
You know what's interesting? I actually heard and saw only on, and this is, mind you, on any of the media sources for the early reports and so on, things like CNN and all that. They very decidedly did not use the word terrorist. They very decidedly did not use that. Even Fox News didn't use that word. They said, we don't know.
Yeah.
They said straight up, we don't know.
Well, it's a CYA maneuver. Cover your orangutan.
It's not even spelled with an A.
With an A. It's got an A in it.
It sounds like it.
They all come equipped with an A.
Oh my God.
It's a nice thought.
Once again, we're like kind of, oh no.
Dancing around a little bit.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
It's thank you, yes, for bringing a little bit of levity again to this very, very dark.
It is disturbing though. This automatic. I don't know if you want to call it profiling or what, but it feels.
That's actually what stopped the neighbors of the California shooters. That's what stopped them from. They didn't want to be racially profiled.
Second of all, it has been determined that the San Bernardino shooters were in no way tied to any terrorist organization whatsoever.
I didn't know.
I saw a story, and a couple different news outlets were reporting on that.
That is
very briefly.
Yeah,
very briefly. Yeah, because we've already discussed it. We've already made the determination. Why bring it up again?
Leah brought up a good point. It's the neighbors didn't say anything
because they were worried about being called racist. Even though that may have stopped something.
That and they had guns.
Well, if they never mind.
I don't want to piss off my gun-toting neighbor either.
No. It's that they were seeing strange activity, and the neighbors even after the fact they were like, yeah, I'd seen a lot of people coming and going. They were in different cars. People I'd never seen before were visiting a lot.
Right.
And they didn't want to say anything because they didn't want to come off as racist, which that to me is dangerous. You're so afraid of seeming like you might offend somebody that you don't call attention to something that's obviously off. That's obviously should be looked into. But no, we don't want to be racist.
Don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah. And that's starting to cost lives.
And I think, and granted, that was early in the presidential cycle for this time around, or was it before the primaries even began?
It was before the primaries.
And we see, I have witnessed a rather precipitous jump to instant judgment on people's part since Trump has done what he can to normalize this type of behavior. I've seen it, and I see it here with the police officers. They're saying, we don't know if it's terrorism, but we suspect that it might be terrorism.
Well, his name was Omar.
Yeah, and that's the
So-
problem. When you there's no filter anymore between what one's brain perceives and what one's mouth expels.
That's actually an interesting way. There is a filterless thing happening here.
Yeah. And I think it's been diced up into even tinier pieces by the kind of rhetoric that we see, this automatic jump to character judgment that Trump has made so prevalent. I mean, we saw it with his comments on that judge who was adjudicating his case.
Yeah.
Mexican, he can't do his job. He's not going to be able to be unbiased. Well, if you didn't hate Mexicans in the first place,
which he's made clear,
you wouldn't be having this internal dilemma, because I'm looking at your case, not at you. Your case is textbook fraud.
Yeah.
There you go.
That drives me up a wall and down the other, and then sideways through a kitchen door.
That was so colorful. How did that go?
very
Made
descriptive.
up that last part. We could talk about aliens, though.
There we go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Aliens are
I
always
like
cool.
aliens.
I like
I like
aliens.
aliens.
I like aliens.
Have any?
Never met one.
I have.
I am an alien.
I
Right.
was just gonna say I'm
Yeah.
sitting next to one. So
Made you official-ish. So,
Officialish.
oh my
I have
god.
an officialish alien number.
ouch. What is it branded on you?
Do they-
Have you met with your death panel yet for
For
Obamacare?
the chip.
Yeah.
Chip me up.
Cheer me up.
It makes it good at the
Buttercup
grocery store. I just sort of
baby.
wave my hand.
It's the power
Yeah, it's great. You just NFC
The power
pay
of
for
just
anything with
compels
your
you.
palm. I actually saw somebody biohack go get an NFC chip implant in their thumb.
I'm sorry.
In their thumb. So he could pay with everything with his palm.
That's nope. Sorry. I'll take the
He
inconvenience.
just paired it with his smartphone.
Wow.
I mean, the convenience is good.
Right.
I am
Yeah,
not
it's
that lazy.
Completely lacking of any anesthetic whatsoever. And,
Hell, nope.
basically
nope,
a big basting needle just is what they use.
No, thank you. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It is not worth it. I will take the extra steps. I will pay with cash. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. I will not. No, I'm too late. I'm not lazy enough for that crap. I'm.
Yeah. Tap the
Nope.
phone. Why tap the phone when you can just punch the machine?
Punch the machine.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to punch a machine? I mean, that sounds amazing. I still will take the moderate hassle there is to dig my card or cash
Right.
out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Remember, you guys can call into the show. This is a call-in show. I didn't know if you guys knew that or not, but that's a live call-in show. The number to get in touch with us here is 260-424-8728, and you can reach us live here at the studio, and we'll take your calls and yell at you a lot.
And here we are
So-
halfway into the show, and I haven't mentioned the question of the week.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
Yes, here we
Mention
are.
it, please.
Okay, so we've got this question of the week, and I really like doing these. But this week's question is, what is the stupidest thing you've ever heard an adult human being say?
Stupidest.
Oh,
What is the stupidest thing?
Stupidest. I just heard it
it's
right
just
now.
right there.
I just heard it right now. You just said the word, the non-existent word stupidest.
Stupidest.
Now, if you can beat that, please call us at 260-424-8728 and answer our question of the week. No pressure.
No pressure at all.
No
You
pressure.
can also chime in the chat
I
box
will,
on YouTube.
I will find you.
Oh, that's funny. You can chime in on Twitter, Facebook,
Yeah.
and on YouTube. We actually have a
Definitely.
little comment section, so let us know.
Yeah, maybe Leah, keep an eye on the YouTube.
That's actually what I've been
commenting.
passively doing.
Stu said, "Great show." I saw it. It's still up there on the last.
I did.
Yeah,
Because
Oh,
no
yeah.
one commented.
yeah. I know. I appreciate it.
Poor guys.
I appreciate it.
Working so hard.
I know. For all them,
Volunteering
I
so
nearly
for all them,
called in. I nearly called in.
for all them
And
four.
pretended to not be me
Oh, jeez.
because
That would have been entirely too obvious. I'm sorry. That's the trouble with
He would have just
being
tweaked it to Australia.
the only one with an accent in the room would have been so obvious. It's
You-
I
painful.
would have put on an American accent.
Do
Can
it.
you?
Do it.
Let's hear it.
I would have
Do
just said y'all
No
or
pressure.
something.
Nope.
Yo.
No, because then I'm just fulfilling Leah's prophecy in
Oh,
the
come on,
question of the
come on.
week.
No
What's
pressure.
the stupidest thing you've ever heard an adult say? Is me putting on an American accent.
No, that's not something you
That's
said.
the
That's something you did.
stupidest.
No, that's not something you said. It's
Anything
something.
I'd said with
No.
an American accent.
Yeah. No.
All
Next
right,
subject.
children.
Like
Next
mentally.
Aliens.
Aliens. Yeah.
Okay, one of the ones that I read online for this is yes, I lifted this from the internet, but one of the answers to that question was I almost died laughing. Actually, it was this guy
Bummer.
talking about his brother.
Don't
Yeah,
do that, don't do
Didn't go far enough.
I
Fair.
know.
It's not
I
commitment.
Wasn't
No
quite.
commitment.
I was only laughing half to death. All right, this guy was a conservation officer, and a woman asked him how long it takes a deer to turn into a moose. And he straight-faced answered her, about 7 years. I was done.
Wow.
Deer don't turn into moose, just in case.
Come back then. That's when my contract's up. 7 years, so I never have to see you again.
So I never have to be with you again.
Yeah.
That's precisely it. But yes, let us know the dumbest thing you've ever heard an adult human being say. That's what I want to know.
What's also interesting is that it's typically does that turn into moose. Or is it moose eye? No, it's not.
Meese.
Moose.
That's a Monty Pythonism there
Yeah.
for you. That's
They
amazing.
turn into moose, and then you know how they get their antlers is simply by picking them up off the forest floor from previously dead moose eye. And
Oh my
Wow.
God.
you didn't know that, did you?
No,
I
It takes about
guess I
7 years to find a suitable pair.
of moose antlers,
Mhm.
so that they can
And then, you know,
transform.
it's a weird sort of hide glue they use to keep it on their heads.
It is a weird thing.
Yeah, we could keep going, but I'm not going to. Yeah, give us a call, 260-424-8728 to answer that.
To answer our question of the
Stupidest
week.
question of the week.
Yes,
It's
I enjoy
not, it's a
those.
good one.
I enjoy
We also
those.
have a poll on our Facebook page, by the way.
We did.
Considering tonight at 8/7 Central is the 70th annual Tony Awards, please do go to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/standardbyte and answer our poll there, which is what was your favorite Broadway musical for 2016?
I didn't know it was Broadway musical. I thought it was just musical.
Yeah, I decided to make it Tony Award specific.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I may do a musical one later, but I was rushed to find a way to make a poll, and then so I just copied and pasted
Yeah,
answers.
that works.
There you
The
I
go.
wasn't complaining.
current-
I was just
Broadway.com.
clarifying.
Yeah, no worries. Broadway musical 2016.
I have to say, I'm sadly lacking in musicals. I've not watched one in a very
For
long time.
shame!
Yes, I did. I don't remember actually any of the ones that I've seen live except the Phantom of the Opera, which was adapted from the Andrew Lloyd Webber version. I
Sure.
saw that live.
Phantom of the Opera is playing on Broadway right now.
Oh, that would be so cool to see the actual Andrew Lloyd Webber one. But
If
my
you want a
choir
list,
teacher-
go to Broadway.com, and you can see a list of the ones that are out there, and then feel free to go to Facebook and answer the poll.
There you go.
Also, I listed them all out on the poll, so you have like 31 choices.
There you go.
Mhm.
All right. Then I'll have to do that. because
Hamilton is on there, which is one that I've
I've
just
not seen it.
eaten the soundtrack up to.
Aiden?
It's about Aiden.
Aiden.
That's one of the dumbest things.
We're on it
Oh,
now, man.
The Book of Mormon,
Yes, that is.
I
it.
wanted to see that.
The Lion King,
That's I don't know how I would feel about that being in a
Matilda,
Really?
Matilda,
yeah,
Kinky Boots. Oh, see that one.
best kind.
On Your Feet. Hey, we could just string these all together and come up with some really interesting.
Oh yeah, a
titles.
little Mad Libs action
Yeah.
going on.
Waitress Kinky Boots on Your Feet.
Matilda.
Something rotten, Matilda.
Oh no. That's awful.
Matilda something.
She loves
It's-
me.
Oh, it's this. It's getting. It's. I don't
She
know.
loves me, Hamilton.
Oh, there we go.
She loves me. Kinky Boots.
Hamilton is a hip hop based musical
Oh, it is?
about Alexander Hamilton.
All right.
Yeah, you can get the soundtrack on Spotify. It's amazing. I've fallen in love with it. It's great. I've watched Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's been on the Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, talking about Philippines debt crisis. Or I'm sorry, Puerto Rican debt crisis. He is the lead actor and creator of the Broadway play / musical Hamilton,
Oh, wow.
and he just did a carpool karaoke with James Corden from who was in One Something, Two Governors. In 2012, he won Best Leading Man, and he's also the host of the Late Late Show now.
Oh, is he really?
Oh,
Yep, James Corden.
okay.
He's hosting
sounds
the
so
Tony Awards tonight,
Oh wow.
Yep.
Would you look at that?
Yep. and he was in a movie called Into the Woods, which is based on. That's another musical movie, based on Little Red. No,
Not Little Red Riding
Little
Hood.
Red.
possibly. I don't know.
It might have
There's a
been.
lot of stuff. Aliens. I
Yes.
said it 6
Yeah.
times. Why am I not doing it?
Well,
Have
it's okay.
this? I don't know who this comes from because I don't edit anymore.
Oh jeez.
Are we alone? Have any alien civilizations ever existed? Astronomers say that the chances are sky high. Now, this is not just an article about the Drake equation, which is the equation that estimates the number of possible intelligent civilizations in the currently observable universe.
What do you call intelligent?
I don't know. whatever Drake did,
Oh, okay.
because he's the science man.
It's the science.
Are we alone? 53 years ago, astronomer Frank Drake came up with an equation that weighed the odds for aliens. I should say, maybe not intelligent life, but
some
a-
kind of complex life.
extraterrestrial life, some kind of complex life form
A complex.
outside
that's
of
what I
our.
wanted to-
Yeah,
I mean,
complex.
we've got like an amoeba.
right,
Or a living.
right. Yeah, I would say life outside of our Earth.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Something, yeah,
I think it's silly to think there isn't.
it is.
Right, which is
I
what
think
I
so.
would feel as well.
We can't be the only. I mean, really?
No, I'm sorry.
No.
That's just the most arrogant thing you could possibly think or say.
Oh, the Bible just hit the list of the
Oh,
top.
What?
One of the top most challenged books for 2015 by the American Library Association
Well, yeah.
to make it the #1 banned book in the country as well as the #1
See,
bestseller.
but
Huh.
Yes,
if they ban it though, and this is something
good.
well,
I don't know.
here's the thing. There's a difference between.
Just write a new one.
I
Really
was
just-
talking about aliens though. We'll
Go
get
ahead.
to that. We'll get
Go
to that.
ahead.
I promise.
Go ahead.
Hold your hatred. We'll get to it.
Oh, my hatred is yes. I just can't stand those
Hatred is
people who
strong.
are going to come after me for my freedom. of
Strong with
speech.
this one. Yeah.
No.
Astronomer Frank equation. Blah, blah, blah. Odds for
Right.
aliens. And now 2 astronomers have tweaked the formula to come up with a slightly different spin. Their bottom line, there's an astronomically high chance that other civilizations have arisen elsewhere in the universe at some point in its 13.8 billion year history.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The universe of Washington,
The universe of Washington.
Yeah.
universe, itty,
You heard it here first, listeners.
of Washington. Woody Sullivan and the University of Rochester's Adam Frank published their assessment in the May issue of Astrobiology, and Frank is following up with an op-ed in Sunday's New York Times.
I don't take people seriously who are named Woody.
Woody?
It's
What about
pretty
Woodward?
difficult to do.
Woodward?
Woodward?
It's funny to hear you say that.
Like Bob Woodward?
Oh, Woodward. No, just
He's
Woody.
just doubling up Woodwood.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
what it
That's what it's
Really?
up.
Yeah. Bruce.
Okay, aliens.
Okay.
Aliens.
But there's an op-ed followed by Frank in the New York Times.
He snorted.
We can't even put it together, guys.
Quote, while we do not know if any advanced extraterrestrial civilizations currently exist in our galaxy, we now have enough information that they almost certainly existed at some point in cosmic history, Frank writes.
Yeah.
He and Sullivan came together on the same
I love how
couch.
there was
There
that.
was a pause.
Yep.
That was.
He and Sullivan come to that conclusion by deconstructing the Drake equation. Classic formula starts out with the rate of formation of stars in our Milky Way galaxy, then multiplies that by the fraction of those stars with planetary systems, the average number of habitable planets for each of those systems, the fraction of those planets that give rise to life, the fraction of those life-bearing planets that give rise to civilizations, the fraction of those civilizations that beam out evidence of their existence, and the average length of time during which they're able to do the beaming. The results tell you how many alien civilizations in the Milky Way you think should be sending out signals. Simple, right?
I think any intelligent
Wow.
life out there in the universe is staying away from us.
That's the.
They might have
the-
seen us and they're like,
Well, there's also an interesting theory
I don't
about
think they're done yet.
the dark forest theory, dark forest hypothesis, which is that everybody stays quiet for self-preservation once they reach a certain level of intelligence and advancement in their civilization. Meaning that there are always bigger fish.
Yeah.
And so,
agreed.
by example, they've seen civilizations that spoke up using radio
Whatever, yeah.
resonance of their home star
Yeah, I know.
to blast a pulsing signal out, and then they were found and immediately destroyed.
Makes sense.
Now, yeah, I would encourage people to go and there are 2 books to be read: The Three-Body Problem and The Dark Forest, which are novels by a Chinese science fiction author
Really?
that have been translated
Wow.
into English, and they are brilliantly dark and horribly prophetic in the way that they deal with the issue of first contact from a Chinese 1960s cultural revolution perspective.
That would be
Oh,
fascinating.
it is absolutely fascinating.
There's many stories about ancient Egypt, ancient civilizations, where
Yeah.
you have to look at the hieroglyphics, and it kind of looks like there's alien contact.
Oh yeah.
In fact, the pyramids.
I mean, it does have it's compelling evidence. It really is, and I've seen what limited amount of ancient aliens I have watched. It is compelling.
Yeah.
That guy with
What's the
the worst
obelisk?
spray tan ever.
The obelisk
Obelisks.
and
Yeah.
obelisks and the Great Pyramid. They were like, why was it built? It's not a tomb, and they think it was a.
Well, there were
There-
tombs. There are
A lot of them are.
There were
a lot
two,
of
but
things
the,
in the
the,
pyramids.
There was one with chambers.
But in the
I remember.
I mean,
Giza-
Ramses.
the Giza one is empty. It's not.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
never occupied.
never occupied.
Yeah.
So they were like, why build it? Because it's
Well,
not like you did
by
it
all-
yesterday. What did you do yesterday?
By what
I built a
I've
pyramid.
discovered with historical accounts and then historian viewpoint is that the person meant to be interred in that tomb died elsewhere and could not be transported back.
How
to it. So
inconvenient.
it
selfish.
was some war issue, some battle on another plane, and he was hacked to bits. So there was nothing left to bury. So they sealed it off
Oh, interesting.
with everything.
That's actually a really cool
They
explanation. too.
placed. I mean, they still made a sarcophagus. They did all the placement of the stuff in there. When it was discovered, they did not see any signs of disturbance, which means it wasn't robbed at any one point.
Yeah.
So that led them to believe that it was just placed in there as a placeholder. They needed some sort of facsimile to appease whatever god they had that
Yeah.
Particular
some
era,
sort of
yeah.
something to transport to the other side. I guess they tried to fill it with trinkets or whatever.
Woody.
That's
the
it's been a few years.
ancient Egyptian
Yeah.
god Woody.
Woodwood.
Woodwood.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is entirely too much fun.
But there's a never mind. The problem is
There's a oh
Yeah,
never
yeah.
mind.
yeah. Problem is that
You're done.
I already peed before we went, so why am I hopping around? The problem is that the latter terms of the equation are squishy because we just don't know enough about life beyond Earth to hazard an educated guess. But thanks to the data from NASA's planet hunting Kepler Space Telescope, astronomers are getting a good handle on the first three terms: the number of stars, planetary production, and the prevalence of habitable planets.
Mhm.
So that's helping us flesh the full equation out. Now you can see a picture of the Drake equation right there.
Oh wow.
A little fancy.
It
Yeah.
is.
It looks colorful.
A lot of
I don't math very well.
I know.
I don't. It's not my thing. I mean, if I have 4 pencils and you have 7 apples, how many pancakes fit on the roof?
Yeah.
The answer is vanilla because aliens don't wear hats. So that's what math problems look like to me. They make that much sense.
the astronomers I was talking about, Woody, and they added a twist to the equation. How long you have to set the chances that a habitable planet gives rise to a signal beaming civilization, which means the way we pump out radio waves like we're doing here on the show.
Mhm.
Those eventually go out past the atmosphere and into space if most of it isn't bounced off the atmosphere back down to Earth. Satellite communications don't always hit where they're supposed to. So you get basically radiation beaming of any kind, that type of signaling leaks out away from our planet and carries off into space.
I wonder if they're thinking about carbon-based, oxygen-breathing life forms.
Quite possibly.
Or, I mean, because that's limiting. I mean, what if there was a methane-breathing,
Right. Or a sulfur ingesting.
sulfur ingesting,
Right. So, I think what's
He said
safest, what's safe,
methane,
aluminium, is that?
aluminium? Thank you.
We say herbs.
There's an I in there somewhere.
Apparently there's two in the way you guys spell it. I don't get it.
Aluminium.
Yeah.
Too many
Aluminium.
syllables. Nope.
Yeah.
Click, Mississippi.
But yeah, I would assume that the safest way to do that calculation is based on the knowledge we already have, which is carbon-based, oxygen-breathing life forms.
Yeah.
So yeah, in order to reduce what you get when you do the multiplication, planets times probability, to just one world, as in Earth, I mean, the number would have to be 1 chance in 4 sextillion.
That's a sex.
2.5 times 10 to the negative 22nd.
Oh my god.
That's a.
Nope, that makes my brain
That's
hurt.
yeah.
I can't actually even metabolize it. I mean,
Roswell. What about good old Roswell?
Purple, because aliens don't wear hats. I don't, who
you
could
see,
say that? Anyway, apple cheesecake.
there we go.
But I know, I just random word generating.
Push a button, the word
Right.
comes out.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
just
that's
don't
funny.
push my sensitive buttons.
No,
So yeah, we've got other intelligent life in the universe. Hooray!
it isn't us.
They've at least been around. No, if they don't randomly generate words by button pushing sensitive parts. So that's something.
Oh, that is something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that, YouTubers. You can see the back of Dave's head.
So, I've also got more spacey related stuff. Star
Okay.
Wars and Star Trek
Oh, cool.
will change what you think you
Oh,
know
dear God.
about economics.
I've got a listener chiming in here with an interesting little picture. It says Neil Armstrong was the first person to land on the moon. Neil A. Backwards is alien.
Ooh,
Oh,
conspiracy.
snap.
So yes, there's
Bernie Sanders'
That was
fault.
in Hollywood,
that.
though,
Oh,
right?
gee. What?
No,
What?
nothing.
Oh, come on, chime in.
The moon landing.
What about it?
It was in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, that sound studio next door.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, who would think otherwise?
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
We don't. We haven't left this planet. Are you
Also,
serious?
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, climate change.
Oh,
Oh, in a flat Earth.
It's a
Flat
Trump.
Earth.
You
I
know,
knew
it's
someone.
as our dear benevolent leader Trump says, it is
you
a
already
hoax
call in.
perpetrated by. Well, we got to practice, you
I
know,
know.
because every time we address him,
Is
it's
it-
going to have to be
Where's
that
the
way.
Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
Where's
You know, hoax perpetrated by the Chinese, who bought off 98% of the world's scientists.
okay.
That's what he says.
All right.
It's got to be true.
That's fine.
Trump
with me.
said it.
It's on the interwebs.
Yeah. 2 new books examine what galaxies far, far away can teach us about business and life.
What?
It's a really fascinating twist on it.
That's really. I mean, those are some
How do you
far separated
that?
points. What? Where did that come from?
The World According to Star Wars and Trekonomics. Yes.
What?
Cass Sunstein makes it clear up front that he is nothing short of a Star Wars fanatic. In his latest book, the Harvard law professor flaunts virtuosic command of
Okay.
all 7 Star Wars movies, making a strong case that the canon contains real insight into the way we think about religion, work, and family.
And that's. I mean, art does imitate life.
Right? For
Yeah.
example, he
So I get
argues
it.
that a good parent should draw equally from the compassion of Obi-Wan Kenobi and firmness of Darth Vader, and that Luke and Rey's hesitance to join the resistance illustrates the dangers of inertia as described by behavioral economics.
And what about the Wookiees?
Let's find out. If you don't know a Wookiee from an Ewok,
Oh, geez.
you might miss some of Sunstein's finer points. But the book's takeaways are universal. If there's one lesson George Lucas drives home, it's that making decisions in committee is always a mistake.
That's kind of an interesting way to put it.
So that's The World According to Star Wars by Cass Sunstein. I'm going to pick up these books. There's no way I'm not, because this is so
That's.
off the beaten path.
It is a
I
little.
like the Star Wars one. The Star. What is it called?
Trekonomics.
Trekonomics.
Yeah. Well, let me read you the bit
out of
for
their
this.
Vulcan mind.
It's The Economics of Star Trek by Manu Sadia.
Alrighty then.
Manu.
Manu.
That's total Mork and Mindy reference
Yep.
there.
Even though it's Nanu.
Nanu,
Yeah.
Nanu.
Yep. Trekonomics is a fanciful romp through the economic theories. I love that.
A fanciful
La, la,
romp
la,
through the-
la, la, la. Like, what is a romp? I mean, a romp, let's be honest, what it is.
A romp is not really possible in a
Stuffing
studio
things.
this size.
Oh,
fracking.
I can make a lot of things happen in much smaller spaces. So,
Oh no!
Things we don't need to know.
Ah!
good, we only have 15 minutes
Oh
left.
my
So-
god!
Back to the fanciful romp.
Yeah, Franciful.
French.
Those cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Oh my god! I love
Wow.
it.
Anyways,
We're not racist at all.
Franciful romp.
Against cheese.
What?
I'm not
Oh, I
racist
thought
against cheese.
I could have swore you said Jews.
I said cheese. I'm not racist against
Well,
any
look,
cheese.
with your weird accent, you alien, you off-planet alien accent. Yeah. Fromage, as they say over in Franciful land.
Fanciful.
We are doing entirely too many inventive things with the language at the moment.
Trekonomics is a Franciful romp through the economic theories that underpin final frontier life in the mid-22nd through late 24th centuries, as seen through the eyes of the erudite and occasionally fawning fan. But the book is also a serious and informative economic discourse, complete with the foreword by Berkeley professor Brad DeLong. In the unusually utopian world of Star Trek, automation is ubiquitous, resources are abundant, and finance is virtually obsolete. The Federation's interstellar society is characterized by a kind of genial, goods aplenty socialism that enables its inhabitants to live long and well, prosper.
I was just gonna say,
Have you ever thought of how much it would cost to build one of those starships?
Oh yeah, it would take the resources of an entire planet.
Yeah.
Currently, we'd all have to
We
pool
couldn't-
everything.
we
It would take some serious
You gotta
socialism.
wonder where does the money come from? If they,
Yeah, even if you use money. I mean, but if it's a completely global effort, then there would be no need for money.
No.
You would simply have a collected pool of resources.
Socialism.
Yeah,
Mm.
right? Oh, it hurts me so much inside. You know?
Oh, I
Yeah.
got a spaceship.
The author's exploration of this more perfect world and how we might make it a reality is, of course, just one devotee's interpretation. Because, as Dr. McCoy might say, this is fiction, darn it, not science. Not allowed to say that even in quotes, I don't think, on the radio. So, yeah.
I'm a doctor, not a pool
Mhm.
guy.
But I'm going to read this little back and forth here, how each universe addresses, and then it gives a thing here.
Mhm.
So, government. The Star Wars universe is the ultimate example of an ineffectual bureaucracy, which then gives way to an even worse dictatorship.
Yeah.
The
Death Star.
Galactic Senate, and then you have the Empire. The United Federations of Planets governs in the spirit of democratic socialism. Just don't ask about its shadowy intelligence agency, Section 31.
You know,
Yeah. We've all got to have one,
goes
right?
without saying.
Currency in Star Wars. The credit is the unit of money used in Star Wars, though it isn't clear what the unit is pegged to or if it's entirely a fiat
It was
currency.
something else too. It was a not De Niro.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna pay with my Robert
You
De
just spit
Niro.
in my hand, and I just spit all over it. I'm gonna play with my Robert De Niro.
Datarian, I don't know,
Something like that. Sure, I'm
I'm
sure that's a thing.
Musketeers.
Not the.
That's
I
so
just
funny.
watched one
Sure,
the other
that's
day
true.
when Anakin was like little and he did the.
It's Republic credits. Who
But
talks
they
about-
weren't part of the Republic.
Then you're talking about Naboo's currency?
No, it was Tatooine, the Outer Rim.
Tatooine.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
the Outer Rim.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I'm sure the alien's right.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not from.
He would know.
I would
He's
know.
from beyond the Outer Rim.
He is.
In
That's-
in Star Trek,
Oh, God.
while some alien races, like the Avacious Ferengis, still covet coinage, as one Starfleet officer put it, money went the way of the dinosaur.
Mhm.
In Star Trek.
And that's actually more correct as far as how it would even be possible to
Right.
streamline a society into such a shape, into such an organization that would travel interplanetary, interstellar. The fact is, we can't make those moves. We can't make those improvements. We can't evolve really if we're still tied to these archaic beliefs of
Right.
religion
Mhm.
and so on. So unless we actually unify as a human race, not a bunch of nations, not a bunch
Planetary
of
government for the win.
That's the key.
Planetary government. Say with me.
for the
Planetary
win.
government. Planetary
Planetary
government.
Oh, jeez. But that's the theory in Star Trek. Yeah, and see,
We've just
and you guys are getting
completely-
after me. For
Planetary government.
We
All right,
completely
already.
bypassed the one world government. We went straight to intergalactic.
Oh,
government.
absolutely.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Star Wars.
That's why we use the word planetary.
Mhm.
Because that assumes the other ones will come out of the woodwork once we establish ourselves.
Well, you know.
Horribly, ineffectually, and genocidally, is I'm pretty sure what they're going to do to us when they find us. Yeah. So
Which
enjoy it while you got it, folks, because once we meet another alien race, we're doomed.
Yeah. Or so they say. We don't actually know, but the idea is, and this was according to Stephen Hawking, I do believe he was against contacting them because the only analog we have for an intelligent species is how we treat other lesser societies when we come across them. What do
Yeah.
we do?
Which is pretty crap.
You know,
Barbaric great apes.
Yep.
We are.
We
you
are.
know.
we are at the
So,
end of the day.
yeah.
And so
As
I'm
we
there
saw
with you.
in Orlando earlier this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, yes, we did. And how nice and tidy that we actually bring it back full circle right at the end of the show. This is amazing.
We still got time.
We've got some.
I still got things to talk about.
And you've got things to talk about.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
They both address inequality as well. Take one look at the lavish capital lifestyle of Coruscant versus
Yeah.
the scavenging ways of Rey on Jakku.
Jakku
And
Tatooine.
it's
Mhm.
clear that inequality is quite rampant. But in the Star Trek universe, without affluence to dictate socioeconomic status, reputation holds sway. So Captain Picard and crew achieved their rank through eminent merit.
That only makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you've earned it, you've earned it.
Yeah.
You get it. Thank you. Yes. That
Yeah.
only makes sense.
They address
What about the
technology.
last Star Trek movie? Not the last one, but the first one of the new generation, the new J.J. Abrams one. I can't remember the actor's name, but he became captain.
You're talking about Kirk, or are you talking about?
Yeah.
Kirk, he became captain without actually finishing his training. Didn't he? It's just that.
Yeah, I mean, you could call that merit. I mean, you
Well, I
could
guess
call
he
it,
earned
yeah.
it. He earned it.
Yeah,
Because
earned
he-
it just not through.
The conventional means.
hmm
He
Yeah.
earned it by brute
I
force.
stand
I'm pretty.
corrected.
I think it was a brevet appointment.
Mhm.
I think it was at the time, and then it was just confirmed
Okay.
Mhm.
during the first movie.
And that's
so,
the way that works.
yeah. So they also address technology in this bit too,
Oh,
which
good.
is kind of nice. There's a lot of cool tech in Star Trek or Star Wars, but most of it hasn't made its way to our world yet, unless anyone has a patent out for moisture farms or lightsabers.
You see, there you go.
Yeah, I want a
I think
lightsaber.
NASA was at one time working on a lightsaber.
Actually,
I read some statistics on
Yeah.
lightsabers and how much actual energy it would take to produce something to cut through metal. It would burn your hand off.
If
Like,
it didn't instantly explode, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, lightsabers cut your hand off instantly too. So I mean, there is a realistic correlation there.
Mhm.
But and then cauterizes the wound conveniently.
Hey.
after.
Conveniently
Yeah.
enough.
would you look at that? It's a nice clean wound.
Nerve trauma, though. I mean,
Yay!
Star Trek is known for its tech prescience. Tablet computers, iPads, holodecks, which VR,
Mhm.
communicators, cell phones. We hope tractor beams are next. So
All right. That's
they
interesting.
actually sonic tractor beams
Don't you find Star
on
Wars
the
is a very
mini scale.
more primal? I mean, even their spaceships aren't really fantastic. I mean, you look at the Millennium Falcon; it was a junk.
I would see.
Yeah.
But then
It was
you know,
a
Brandon,
old Corellian freighter.
the
Yeah.
Super Star Destroyers though.
Okay, they
Those
had
were
those.
huge, and you know.
But you think about this, outside of Empire technology, all of the other technologies seem to be rather old,
Yeah.
as if it was being maintained because knowledge had been lost.
Even
or
the
some
lightsaber was really
Mhm.
not an overly technical device.
such. Right.
It wasn't
Yeah.
fanciful.
It's crystals, a couple of bits of electronics in the handle, and you put it together using the Force. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little, there wasn't much to it,
Mhm.
but it was a very specialized skill.
Yes.
But it seemed like you got your speeders. Now this may just be the settings that we happen to witness, whereas in technology had a trickle down effect to these areas, and the
Possibly.
hand me downs were dropped off and left to junk rot on these planets like Tatooine. So you see a salvage and preservation mentality on these
Yeah.
less economically.
That's meant that the Star Trek is more technology driven.
Oh, absolutely.
Star Wars is more of a there's some technology, but we got Wookiees and we've got
Right.
Endor, which is
Seems like it's not the driving force.
the Force.
Uh-huh.
I see what you did there.
I did do that.
You
I
that.
did
You've
do that.
Done that.
I did it.
That's funny.
Did it unknowingly.
my
NASA. Oh, by the way, NASA and the UAE just signed a space agreement to collaborate on Mars.
UAE? What?
United Arab Emirates.
Wow.
Well, they've got the money for
They've
it.
kind of got
They-
the
yeah,
most
they got
money
the
in the
money.
region. Yeah.
Yes,
So early Sunday morning, NASA announced that it signed a significant space agreement with the United Arab Emirates Space Agency.
To colonize.
I don't know if it's scientific based or not, but let's find out here. On that, NASA Administrator Charles Bolden said will help advance NASA's journey to Mars. Bolden has spent the last few days in the Middle East talks with representatives from Israel, Jordan, and the UAE to talk about the possibility of cooperation on NASA's Mars missions. The agreement between NASA and the UAE came as something of a surprise, as there has been little indication that such an agreement between the two space agencies was imminent.
They're just trying to figure out a way to put a new mall on
Right.
Mars.
Yeah. Let's colonize it
Let's
so we can have
colonize it so
more
we
of
can
it.
have more
Yeah.
McDonald's.
I want to have the tallest building on Mars. Representatives of the two agencies met at NASA's DC headquarters in March 2015 and expressed interest in collaborating earlier this year at a meeting in Abu Dhabi. Quote, every single nation can play a part in our journey to Mars, in our scientific journey of discovery, and in the next phase of humanity's development as a spacefaring people, said Bolden, writing about his space diplomacy mission to the Middle East on his blog. But that's interesting.
It is interesting.
And I'll
It is.
definitely be following through to find out how this goes.
I think it was Hawking that said that we have to find somewhere else to live at the rate we're.
Oh, yeah, we're screwed in the next 30 years,
30.
50 years.
Come on.
By
was gonna say
29 feet of sea level rise by
That's what they're saying.
brand new reports out of Antarctica. Yeah, 9 feet of sea level rise by what, 2050? Yeah.
Have you seen the map? The
Oh, yeah.
the map of even if the water rose by like
Mhm.
10 feet.
Yeah.
It's like all the eastern seaboard gone.
Yeah.
Mississippi River just takes everything.
Yep. It's,
Send me to Mars.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
We have any time for anything else? We got a bunch of. I'll have to do more supplemental videos on YouTube after I'm done with it tonight sometime.
All right.
But let's quickly about the 70th annual Tony Awards. I want to
Yes,
touch
really
on the
quickly.
Tony Awards before we get done here.
How about you look at the non-existent clock?
Yeah, I keep because it's been up there,
Look at those.
and then when
It's
I
gone.
look when I pan back down, it's right in my
When
eyes.
I pan back, I love it. You talk about your face like it's a camera.
I'm
panning
I'm
around.
watching so much camera porn recently on YouTube, trying to figure out what to buy and what to use and how to use it. But yeah, this is 10 fun facts about the 70th annual Tony Awards.
Henry.
Aneurysm is what I'm having.
It was a cross between anniversary and edition and something else.
Number 1, 70,000 roses will be arranged by hand on the red carpet.
Wow.
Yeah,
Why?
right.
I mean, that's,
Because it's theater.
I guess that's
Come on. Yeah.
70,000
Number 2,
Roses give their life.
It's true.
fun fact number 2, 20,520. That's the total number of words in the Hamilton score.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of words.
Number 3, 14,000. The number of hors d'oeuvres that will be served to Hungry Tony Award winners, nominees, and presenters at the official Tony Awards Gala at the Plaza Hotel.
Ooh.
Number 4, I like our d'oeuvres,
I
which
always
is what
thought
it looks like.
I always thought it looked like horse beavers.
Horse.
It looks like horse beavers.
Horse louvers. Number 4, 241. The total number of spit takes in School of Rock. That's one of the other plays that's up.
Oh, see, I saw the film.
Yep, this is not Jack Black, but a very Jack Black-ish character leading it off. Number 5, 210. The amount of feet of red carpet that the 2016 Tony nominees, presenters, and VIP guests will walk down before entering the Beacon Theater. Number 6, you know what's fun is that all those people who work on Wall Street all work in the same 8 blocks.
Yeah.
We can gate them all in together.
How about it?
Number 6, 22. That's the number of times the word sugar is said in Waitress. It's one of the other plays that's up for awards this year.
Okay.
7, 9. The number of Tony nominees making their Broadway acting debut this season.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations to them.
Nominees on their first time.
That's amazing.
There'll also be 10 performances at the Tony Awards tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, full cast performances.
A big, yeah.
Oh yeah, big to do. Hamilton's doing the Hamilton cast is doing stuff there. And
That's amazing.
Great. 8, 4.
8, 4.
The number of years Steve Martin and Eddie Brickell have been collaborators.
Steve Martin, heck of a banjo player.
Number 9, 3. The number of decades spanned in Bright Star. It's another one of them.
Oh, wow.
3 decades spans in that musical. That's interesting.
I don't know
The
how that.
Phantom of the Opera is going to be going.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
Forever.
Well, no, I mean, I think within the musical, within the play itself,
Oh,
Yeah.
the story inside the play spans
Takes
3
place
decades,
over, yeah.
which is
that's
That's
quite innovative.
That would have
Yeah.
been very difficult to cast,
Yeah.
especially if there are any children.
And number 10,
All right.
1.
10, 1. All right.
The amount of Tony Awards won by host James Corden. Best leading actor in a play for One Man, Two Governors in 2012.
All right.
Oh, yeah. You can catch 70th Annual Tony Awards on CBS this Sunday, June 12th, 8, 7 Central. I will be watching.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to know. I
Bunch
don't
of-
watch television.
No.
There you go.
bunch of FAQs there, too.
All right.
We're getting out of time, so we will
We
see
are.
you guys next week. It is Sunday. I don't know why I'm saying words. I'm still talking. I've been Dave.
I'm Leah.
I'm Stuart.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
You want to hit that bumper?
Yes, I do.
Cool.
You have been listening to 95.7 FM WELT. We come to you from the library downtown and via the tower at IPFW. We're generously funded by ESCO Communications and Friends of the Public Library, who encourage all Allen County residents to come to any branch library and read a book.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You can catch us everywhere. Please do subscribe to the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter feeds.
Whatever it is, subscribe.
Do them all. Please. It helps us find out what our audience likes.
Yep.
So
Let
we'll
us
see
know.
you all
Next
week. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's a wrap, YouTubers.
Hooray.
All right.
Oh,
Those are so hot.
jeez.
Ah,
My ears are sweating. Balls.
sweating.
Ear
balls.
scrotums.
Oh my God, Ron White said that it has ears.
I was watching that the other night.
It has ears.
Man,
No, I have to tell it.
that was good.
It was good.
That was good.
I
Whole
enjoyed
new camera thing set up, and that
I
should
like
look
it.
good.
That's a nice little setup you've got.
Yeah,
I love
man.
that we've got the posters in the background there.
Yeah, it looks better.
Looking at it, just you're
Yeah,
very cool.
Forever 21. I'm sorry, that's 27.
Yes.
Aerosmith, Jackson. I mean, you might be able to see it.
Just Rome wide.
Tour the studio, guys.
There was a porn show. Hey, there was a,
Hi, Leah.
Hi.
Hi, Stu Mac.
sure.
Stew beef? How about that?
Stew beef.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You come up with better nicknames for people than I do.
Yeah, well, I'm good that way.
I know.
Billie Holiday, Janis Joplin. I'm scooting.
Yep. Oh, I gotta get out of the way.
I'm still scooting.
Oh no.
I got long legs.
Low and Eddie.
Prostrate against the wall. Yeah, good stuff.
This is where it all happens. It's the magic people.
Yeah. Well, we're not the magic people. That's the
No, I
magic
said
people.
it's the magic.
Bye.
Bye, you two.
Later.